Hi guys, back again today. Got it warmed up in the shop. I've been working on the back part of it, and so it's not too bad outside. But keep a fire going because I'm in and out, coming into work and cut wood and make shiplap and go put it up, and it's just back and forth 10,000 times. So I leave the door open so I keep the fire so it's good and hot in here. But I thought I'd talk today a little bit about something different. I said I'd kind of telling my story and what I do and how I got to where I am. And one of the things that doing the kind of stuff that I do, that anybody in carpentry work or sawmill, probably auto, I mean any of the trades, for sure, you would want to be healthy. I mean, you move around a lot, you lift a lot of stuff, you have a lot of just physical work that you have to do. So Um, and specifically, what I was going to talk about today is back pain. For me, mine, I started having back pain. I got injured playing football when I was in high school as a freshman. I never actually even made it to play, it was just for practice and getting learning prior to even my first game as a freshman, which I never made it to. But I tweaked my low back, probably was nothing serious, but ran, forced to have the coaches and everybody screaming at you, to not be a wimp in so many words, and or not so many words, but to just suck it up, run, do that. I ended up with my lumbar region of my back with some damage, a lot of inflammation, swelling, and for the next probably 20 years, I spent probably almost weekly. When I was in college, for sure, it was twice a week. I was in a chiropractor trying to just keep myself able to function. Still was always did what I did. I did my carpentry work as I talked about back then, and um, did all my physical stuff. But very often my back would just go out, and then it'd be days or a week till I could really function like normal again. Walking like I'm 90 years old when I stand up or get out of bed in the morning. And that continued on through my working here when I moved to Iowa, and the same thing. I mean, I can remember one time I bent over to pick up a roll of wire off the floor. I was doing a remodel job, and I just bent over and I couldn't stand back up. And I walked over to the car, bent over, and slid in and went straight to the chiropractor. Luckily, it was during the week, and um, got adjusted. But when that happens, it's a long process to do that. And then the starting, kind of the starting point for getting better. I'm 49 now, and I feel better than I did when I was 20 years old, easily. The start of that was probably about, I guess it's going on 10 years ago, maybe slightly more. Um, a chiropractor that actually was my old chiropractor from when I was in high school, he had gotten into CrossFit and started talking to me about the importance when I was back up visiting my folks, because my back was still bad. I couldn't even go a week to go on vacation or to go see my family without having to go to the chiropractor while I was there. So he had gotten into CrossFit and started talking to me about the importance of squats. And so I started doing squats. My range of motion wasn't too bad because of what I did, but if you don't know a squat, you squat down, keep your back straight, don't let your knees go over your toes, and squat as low as you possibly can, comfortably without pain. On not talk to your doctor, whatever all disclaimers you need to have for something like this, because I'm not one. I'm not any kind of. There's some flies buzzing around in here because it's warm and I've had the door open. So no training in any of that whatsoever. So um, but yeah, you can use a door frame, stand in a door frame, grab each side of the frame with the door open, and use that to balance yourself if you're new to doing that. But I started doing those because your hip flexors, that has a lot to do with your low back pain. And then I also discovered I never have, my diet's always been fairly okay, but I do like my pop. And I drank a fair amount of that back in the day, and somehow I figured out that the high fructose corn syrup was causing, which it is inflammatory, but it was causing especially inflammation in my low back. And if I had a couple of regular cans of pop, then my back would hurt, and it would cause it to go out, and give me these flies, and give me pain and struggles with trying to get that to relax and get back to feeling good again. So I quit the high fructose corn syrup. Still, I mean, on occasion, if I'm in a restaurant, I'm not a complete fanatic about it, but I can have one and it's not going to bother me that bad. But for the most part, I don't have that. If I do want some, I look up for stuff that has regular sugar in it, if for a treat. And that made a big difference, along with some other stretching, some figure four stretches, if you know what those are, to again stretch hips and keep that part of your body flexible and not tight and pulling on your back muscles. And then recently, this has only been within the last, I've been aware of seed oils and that they're basically engine oil that they have now approved to use in food. These are very highly inflammatory oils that are just bad for you on every level, and probably the root cause of most of the chronic disease we have in the country today, in my opinion. But I really started to eliminate that. My wife makes her own bread, even. You can find potato chips that are made with avocado oil instead of your canola or soy or corn or sunflower, safflower, all those oils, and I've eliminated those from my diet, probably 99%. Occasionally, bread if you go out to eat and get a sandwich, or I try not to get the fries or deep fried stuff for the most part. Again, I'm not a complete fanatic about it. If I'm going out and on an occasion and I want to, out on a date with my wife, we're going to just have whatever, then I have that. But 99% of the time, I don't have any of that. And I think that alone, it took me from feeling really good and having, you know, almost no pain to now I pretty much have no pain. I don't have pain when I wake up in the morning, which is extremely rare, has been in my life. And I pretty much have movement and flexibility, good, better. Like I said, I feel better than I did when I was 20 years old. So it's something that, these things that are inflammatory, if you're struggling with things and having issues with chronic back pain or chronic um, inflammation in joints or things like that, would be to really look at the seed oils and get them out of your diet. I think you would notice a huge difference from that. I know that I have. I know it's so nice to be able to move and not have to worry about every time I stub my toe or trip when I'm walking, I'm going to throw my back out. And it's been a pretty fast turnaround for me. I don't think it took more than a couple of weeks of having that out of my diet that I really did start to notice the differences on that. And it's important. I mean, everything I do is heavy. I lift, it's boards. I'm on the sawmill. I'm pulling fresh cut lumber off the saw, or we're hauling wood in and out of the shop, or we're moving cabinets around that we've gotten built. So there's no shortage of things to do that are just work you out, and a lot of lifting, a lot of bending over and picking things up. And so it's important to have that to feel as good as you can and have yourself be as functional in that way as possible. So I just thought today would be a good thing to do, to share some of the things that I've discovered in my life over the course of the last however many years it's been now, 30 years, that have helped me in my long, slow process from, really being in pain and really hurting to now being basically not. Like I said, I feel better than I did when I was 20 physically right now. And I was never overweight. I could wear the same clothes I wore when I graduated high school still. I really have not changed that much. So there was none of those ups and downs throughout my life. It was just, I've pretty much always been the same, other than just back pain. So that's been the worst part. Which, not that things, I can still overdo it. Anybody can tweak anything at any time, lifting something too heavy or just something dumb. But for the most part, it's good. It's been so much better. So I thought I would share that with you guys today, and maybe help somebody out. So until next time.